Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to go. It is peace to the G's on your airwaves again. In my best Walter Cronkite voice, I'm going to say, my name's John Doherty. Good evening. As always, by my side, the irascible Mr. Ron Do Sincere. Peace, God.
No gossip, no glitz. Just two brothers talking shit. Brothers talk about. Peace, JD. You know, your introduction.
Peace, God.
Your introductions are as shocking to me as they are to the audience.
What do you mean?
Yo, it surprises the hell out of me when you open your mouth. Like, I'm like, I did not expect him to do that. See, like with me, every episode you're gonna get the same thing. It's gonna be nothing. And don't get me wrong, I truly appreciate it, but it kind of scares me. Like from behind, like when you from the side, I'm like what just happened?
See, he forgot that I told you motherfuckers, I'm Ric Flair. I'm Dusty Rhodes. I do this for a fucking living.
So,
because I'm retired.
In my own defense, it shocked me when they did it. So, to pop culture, which we're actually not going to talk pop culture there. We will talk news today.
We'll
talk news. We'll talk news today because we only got a short period of time.
No. The reason I like pop culture and just little bits of pop culture is because like when we talk about Doc, that's pop culture. Like we're watching a TV show together.
We're watching TV. I don't know if Doc is pop culture. More so, it is something that we share in common. That's the reason this podcast is in existence, because we have shared interests and we can discuss those shared interests. And we thought it'd be interesting for other people if we shared our shared interests with them. So that's what that was about. But listen, in the news, everybody's talking about. Well, one of the things that people are talking about is the corrections strike.
Yes.
New York State corrections strike.
Yeah.
And and within that, I didn't work for corrections, but I did work for institutional service in New York State with the CSCA union. Even though they have NYSCOBA, which is a different union, it's New York State, I think it's Department of Corrections and Police or whatever the case may be. But in accordance with the Taylor law, they're not supposed to be able to strike. It's illegal for them to strike. Not only is it illegal for them to strike, they should penalize, like for a monetary penalty to the union for every day that they are striking.
Okay, so let me tell you how this works. Because I've been in 2 strikes. And Giuliani, that fucking cocksucker, he can have my money. Listen, you get your money from me, you fucking cunt. When you give them bros theirs. That motherfucker charged us a day for every day we was out. They started with 1 day, 1 day's pay, and doubled it every day. So it was 1 day, 2 days, 4 days, fucking 8 days. Fuck them motherfuckers. And I mean that. And the reason I say that is because we actually I've been involved in 2 strikes and never actually went on strike. Why? Hold up. Why? Because the MTA locked us out.
So the thing is with strikes and unions, the ability to strike is a negotiation tool. You know, so in order to create negotiations, you strike or you have the threat to strike. The only thing is in an institutional service, when you work with human beings and you have to be relieved body for body, you can't strike because they're in inherent danger by somebody not being at work. Well,
yes, but the technical definition and how they kind of word it is that as a civil servant, if your job is what they consider critical, right? Because remember, when we was kids, like they talking about Trump now, right? And the air traffic controllers. You and I were alive when the air traffic controllers went on strike. Reagan fired the fucking lot of them.
See, the concern is this though: if
Because of the
a
Taylor
bus
law.
goes on strike, if a plane goes on strike, nobody actually has to fly.
No.
Nobody actually has to take the bus.
No.
You know, although the service is mandatory to make the city run. It's not like these are prisoners. They're locked in. They can't leave.
No, understand that.
So they're striking. They're saying it's under the guise that they're striking because of mandatory overtime and work conditions.
Well,
My opinion is not that. My opinion is they're striking to show solidarity for the dudes who were put out for killing that young man.
There have been 7 additional deaths.
There have been
because
additional
they're on
deaths.
strike.
But the thing is this. They have I don't want to call it a clique or a gang, but ultimately that's what it is. So they have a group of correction officers that want to do what they want to do, and they don't want to be told what to do by Governor Hochul. Overtime has been. This is not something that's foreign. This is not something that's new at all. Mandatory overtime has been going on since the beginning of time. The work conditions have been what they've been since the beginning of time.
I believe
it's
that.
only when they put this group of dudes out for killing that young man is when they went on strike.
Well,
In the history to your knowledge, in your lifetime, has there been a correction strike before? There's been a riot at Attica. People have gotten killed. There have been escapes. There have been all type of things where correction officers were in danger.
no, they never.
And the work conditions were bad. The overtime has been what it's been. It's only since they charged these, and other people have been charged. Don't get me wrong. Other people have been charged with infraction. One of my best friends, it was a correction officer, and she was charged with an infraction. Thank God she was found not guilty of that infraction. But again, when I spoke to her, she was a union delegate, and she said that this strike, I spoke to her about this strike, and she said that this strike was about overtime. Unfortunately, my opinion with what I'm seeing and having been a civil servant myself, I think it's kickback from them putting all these guys out from that killing. And the fact that they had it on camera.
Let me say this.
I think it wouldn't have been as bad if they didn't have it on camera.
Let me say this. You're right and you're not right.
Again, it's my opinion.
No. Let me tell you why. Because clearly there were people in leadership who I believe you're right. But every striking officer is not striking because of that. Right? A lot of guys are striking because of overtime. I remember years ago when the wife was working at Verizon. They went out on strike because the dudes down south were complaining about overtime, right? It was mandatory overtime out the ass. Now, they didn't want to have to do mandatory overtime. They loved the McMansions they was in. They loved driving them fancy ass cars they was buying with this overtime money. But they was leaving the fancy house in the fancy car to go to work and come back. Right? So,
but the overtime enables them to get all the fancy cars and the different things is that.
What they were saying is they're put. All right.
I know I worked overtime. I doubled my wages, tripled my wages yearly.
Y'all don't know this dude used to be on fucking fire.
Yeah, triple my wages with yearly, with the overtime. I think I worked there 34 years. Of the 34 years, I think my peak pay was $50,000.
What do you mean?
My top pay, my top
base
salary was $50,000. I was able to do significantly better than that with overtime, so I didn't complain. If they struck for overtime, I swear to God, I got somebody to drive a truck up there and run their ass off. If it's a matter of overtime, y'all ain't gonna take all my good overtime.
Listen, by the way, folks, I'm half blind. Sorta. I got 20/30 vision. I need these glasses to see everything sharp, especially at night. And I say all that to say I'm wearing glasses.
But I mean, they are striking, and the striking. I've talked to one of my guys. Shout out to my man Finster. He's I don't remember what prison he's in. Maybe Attica. I don't remember what prison he's in. But he texted me actually earlier today, and he was saying the condition is bad. He said the National Guard is there. And he said the conditions are very, very bad there, and it's unfortunate. You know, he said that there are prisoners still being assaulted, and he's just basically said the conditions are very, very bad. But the conditions are worse since the strike.
So it went from bad to Guantanamo Bay type shit.
Oh. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The conditions are very bad. I talked to him, and one of my other mans I haven't spoke to Chase. I haven't spoke to Lonnie. The guy Bay Lloyd I haven't spoke to. But I know that they called me during COVID and said the conditions were really, really bad during that period of time. Mm-hmm. And this is probably equal to that time in the mistreatment. He said there are actually still assaults going on, and whereas not assaults as the prisoners to the guards, but the guards to the prisoners. I think the uproar for people who are not even striking, that they're still very upset about it, and it's gonna be somebody got to pay. It's gonna be retribution. Somebody's got to pay because these dudes are out. And I don't know if everybody is fitted with a camera, but be assured that those officers that aren't fitted with cameras right now,
it's going to be held to
it's going to be very difficult.
They're going to.
It's going to be very difficult for those prisoners. Those prisoners who are being guarded by correction officers who don't have cameras, it's going to be a difficult time right now.
I really believe that they're going to mandate cameras all the time.
I'm sure that they're going to mandate at some point. Everybody will have cameras, and I don't know if they do as yet.
And here's the crazy part, right? Here's the fucking crazy part about what you're saying, because what you alleged to have started the strike, they always said cameras would make you act better, right? That people on the cameras would be more pleasant to the police because they know they're being recorded, and the police would be more pleasant because they know they're being recorded. They murdered a nigga.
But I don't think.
Hold on.
I don't listen. I don't think that they were. So the cameras were.
Their body cameras.
No. I think that you have to activate them. I don't think that they activate. No, I don't think that they're self-activating.
You gotta act. Listen,
I think you have to activate. But these cameras were in a sleep mode, and it's like the traffic cameras. When you look at the traffic cameras run all the time, and they just take still pictures when you run the light. But there's footage that runs all the time. There was a guy in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know.
Who
How do you get the traffic cameras?
There was a young man in Brooklyn. I don't remember the specifics of the case, but he had got charged with a murder. Mm-hmm. Right? They didn't have any proof, so he was acquitted of the murder. Somewhere, I believe it was I can't think of where it was. I know it was somewhere Crown Heights. He was acquitted of the murder, but then he sued for false imprisonment and all these different things. So they reviewed the case again, and they pulled the camera,
and they got his ass.
And they saw him for the shooting. Now I don't know if double jeopardy. If he was acquitted of the case without trial, then they can. But if he got off in trial, double jeopardy applies.
Nah, because they got new evidence.
But even with new evidence, double jeopardy should apply if he was convicted of a murder.
His undoing was the lawsuit, because then they scoured
to
find new evidence.
Clearly they did.
And that's how
because
they got
it. And what one of the things that, and shout out to my man Barrage for that information. He's the one. He was a police officer, and he gave me that information regarding that particular case. So my thing is, had he not, sued, then they wouldn't have. But we never knew that thing ran all the time. We just thought that it took pictures.
Oh, I knew it ran all the time. You know how I knew it ran all the time?
You drive a bus?
That, but once I got a ticket once.
Uh-huh.
And what it is they showed the video. The judge could see the video.
Oh, okay.
Up until the point where you got where they take the picture.
Right.
They see the video and they watch you like run lights and shit like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. How much time we got left, Matt? Oh, we got 6 minutes? Oh, Jesus Christ. What are we going to do with 6 minutes?
Dougie Fresh, you're on. I'm thinking Matt should kind of put that in the video.
It's in the fucking video already.
Okay. Good enough.
Hold on. As bad as you said I was a singer in the last episode, I'm a worse fucking beatbox.
I can attest to that.
But got a couple of rest in peace shout outs to do, don't we?
Yeah. Rest in peace to my man Eugene French, my man Strong. He unfortunately passed away. First family member, yes. First family member, Decepticon royalty. Shout to him, and my condolences go to his family. Aunt Dot, Dolores. Uncle Chubby was my guy. His father had already passed away. So shout to them. I don't know if we could put Roy Ayers on here.
Nah. Fucking no.
Roy Ayers.
Hip-hop legend, Mr. Roy Ayers. And I know you're going to be like, Roy Ayers, hip-hop? Why would you say? Yo, how many times Roy Ayers? How many times Everybody Loves the Sunshine got sampled? Yeah.
My Life was my favorite sample. I must admit that Mary J. Blige was definitely it.
Yo, Roy Ayers is a hip hop legend. You can take it or leave it. And I know it's gonna be some older folks be like, nah, he do this and the jazz fusion and the harmonophone or something. That he was, it's like a xylophone thing, or the homophone or something like that. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you. It's called a homophone.
Not sure what that is, but I'm good.
It's like a xylophone.
I'm good with it.
No, I said it's like a xylophone.
Again, I don't want to say anything controversial.
It's like a xylophone.
So I'm actually good with it. Right? So you could say homophone, you could say
it's an actual
transgender phone. I'm not going to say anything controversial here.
Wow.
I don't want that trouble.
So
I don't want that trouble. I don't want the smoke.
Pop.
I definitely don't want that smoke.
Nah,
so
listen.
Roy
Ayers.
You can run that right past. We good with that.
Run that right
past.
Listen, Roy Ayers, not only is so we could say he's a music legend if you like, but
yes,
Roy Ayers definitely hip hop royalty in my book. And I've been on Instagram. Seems a lot of people agree with me, but at the same time. 'Cause you my black brother, I love you. Rest in peace.
There's that shower singing again. What? I didn't say anything. Did I say that out loud? I didn't say that out loud. Did that actually come out? I have a story about
I can't sleep anymore.
Things that I've said that I wasn't supposed to say.
Love to walk through the door.
Rest in peace to Angie Stone.
I wish I didn't miss you anymore. Whew!
I truly have a problem with the Sprinter van. I think the Sprinter van is too tall and the base is not wide enough.
Now,
I think no. I think the base should be wider because Angie Stone thing flipped 4 times. They said 3 times or 4 times, and Tracy Morgan's people.
Hold on. And then she got hit by a truck.
Listen, Tracy Morgan's people got destroyed.
Problems with
and
trucks.
It's crazy because
These
It's crazy
18 wheelers is
because-
out here wilding.
No. It's crazy because Tracy Morgan
Shout out to
often
my nigga
jest
Nut.
that he got so much money in that accident that he would do it again. I promise you.
Nigga, I know you lying.
I've been hit by a car.
I know you have.
It's no way in this world that I would actually do that again.
All right. So listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. It has been real. You have been regular. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend. Peace to the G's. YouTube. Peace to the G's. Spotify. Catch us on your Instagram. Baby, we fucking everywhere.
Shout to
Get
Matt Swigger.
with us. Because we two old guys talking shit. And you fucking love it.
Shout to my manager, Ronnie Blackledge.
I don't have a manager. It's just me.
He's our manager. I don't understand where it comes from. Whatever's for one is for both of us.
I got a manager.
You've been had a manager. Peace.